Before I start this video, I would just like to let you know that this is my first plane crash recreation where I use an actual CVR recording. CVR stands for Cockpit Voice Recorder in case you forgot. And as Plotagon has no Portuguese voices at the moment, I had to record my own voice for the first officer. The following video is dedicated to the 199 people who were killed in the crash of TAM Airlines Flight 3054, as well as their friends and families. Tuesday, July 17, 2007. Sao Paulo Congonhas Airport, Sao Paulo, Brazil. TAM Airlines Flight 3054 is flying from Salgado Filho International Airport in Porto Alegre to Congonhas Airport in Sao Paulo. The aircraft is a 9-year-old Airbus A320-200 registered as PRMBK. The captain is 53-year-old Henrique Stefanini di Sacco. He has 13,654 flying hours, including 2,236 hours on the Airbus A320. The first officer is 54-year-old Kleber Aguirre Lima. He has 14,760 flying hours, including 237 hours on the Airbus A320. Stefanini is the pilot flying, and Lima is the pilot monitoring. There are a total of 187 people on board, 180 passengers and 7 crew members. Congonhas is a treacherous airport, as it's located in the city center and is elevated next to a major avenue. It has 2 runways. In fact, runway 35L, 35 left, had recently been undergoing construction to prevent hydroplaning, but the work is incomplete due to Brazil's 2006 to 2007 aviation crisis. Nevertheless, landings still continued. In fact, just the day before the accident, on July 16, an ATR-42 skidded off the exact same runway. And a year before that, a Boeing 737 almost overshot the runway, but the pilots were able to bring the plane to a stop, just in time. There were no fatalities from either of these incidents, fortunately. It is just before 7 p.m. local time. It is already nighttime and it's raining heavily. Tonight, Flight 3054 will be landing on runway 35L. Earlier the runway was closed and the pilots almost had to divert, but then the runway reopened, so the pilots no longer needed to divert. This did not affect the intended arrival time.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. I have some good news for you. The runway at Congonhas has reopened. We'll arrive as scheduled, shortly before 7 p.m. Is okay.
The flight attendant tells the pilots that the cabin has been prepared for landing and asks where they will be landing.
I have just informed.
I didn't hear, sorry, her talking.
But she heard, Congonhas.
Is it Congonhas? It's great, so. She might have heard. Thank you.
The flight attendant then leaves the cockpit. The passengers are relieved that they will be landing on time, but the pilots are not because they are concerned with another issue that's more important.
Remember, we only have one reverse.
Yes, only the left.
The thrust reverser on the aircraft's right engine has been deactivated due to it jamming on a previous flight. The airline said it would not cause any issues though. In fact, one day before the accident, the exact same aircraft landed at Congonhas using one reverser, and there were no problems reported. Airbus has 2 procedures for landing with one thrust reverser. One is old and outdated, while the other is new. Stefanini and Lima know both of them. They intend to use the newer version.
Glide to slop, lock blue, lock star.
Checked.
Autopilot 1+2. Flaps 1.
Speed checked.
Clear status.
Clear status. Clear. Going to intercept the localizer, TAM 3054.
TAM 3054, reduce speed for the approach. And call the tower on frequency 127.15, good afternoon.
12715, over.
Good afternoon. Flaps 2.
Speed checked, flaps at 2. Sao Paulo Tower, this is TAM 3054.
TAM 3054, reduce minimum speed for approach. The wind is north with 06. I will report when clear 35 left.
Good evening, reducing to the minimum possible.
Landing gear down.
Landing gear down.
Flaps 3.
Speed checked, flaps 3.
Flap full.
Speed checked. Flaps full.
Stand by final checklist.
Standing by.
Glide star, set missed approach altitude.
Out.
The rest of Lima's sentence is unintelligible.
6,000 feet.
Final checklist.
Final checklist. Passing Diadema.
Diadema is the name of the outer marker beacon on the approach to runway 35L.
Cabin crew cleared to land. Cabin crew.
Advised.
Auto thrust.
Speed.
First Officer Lima, asterisk unintelligible asterisk.
Landing no blue.
ECAM memo.
Landing no blue.
Landing no blue.
Okay?
Okay. What? Okay.
Stefanini or Lima says something unintelligible.
Final checklist complete.
Runway in sight. Landing. Ask him about the rain condition, the runway condition, and if the runway is slippery.
TAM on final approach 2 miles away. Could you confirm conditions?
It's wet, and it is slippery. I will report 35 left clear, 3054.
Already on final.
The aircraft is starting the departure.
Wet and slippery.
The aircraft is starting the takeoff run.
TAM 3054, 35 left, clear to land. The runway is wet and is slippery and the wind is 330 at 8 knots.
330 at 8 is the wind.
Checked.
3054.
3054, roger.
Is the landing clear?
Clear to land.
Lamp green. Manual flight.
Checked.
Inhibit the glide for me, please.
What?
Inhibit the glide for me.
Okay. Inhibit middle. 1 dot now. Okay.
Okay.
The CVR then records the sound of the aircraft touching down on runway 35L. At this point, I start using the actual CVR recording. This part might be uncomfortable. TAM Airlines Flight 3054 overshoots runway 35L at Congonhas International Airport traveling at a speed of 100 miles per hour, glides across a busy avenue, crashes into a building, and then explodes. The CVR records the sound of the impact for 2 seconds and then stops recording. All 187 people on board are killed. 12 people on the ground are also killed, making the total amount of fatalities 199. The final report on the accident was released in September 2009. The investigation determined that the causes of the crash were pilot error and the poor runway conditions. The runway had been resurfaced, but the repairs were incomplete. This caused hydroplanning to occur on the runway and hamper braking conditions. In addition, Captain Stefanini had used the outdated Airbus braking procedure, due to him and First Officer Lima both becoming stressed. Stefanini forgot to put the right thrust lever to the idle position before activating the reverser. Following the accident, Airbus revised these procedures. With 199 fatalities, the crash is the deadliest aviation disaster to occur in Brazil, as well as in all of South America, and the deadliest involving an A320 in general. The crash was also the deadliest involving any aircraft of the Airbus A320 family, but was surpassed in 2015 when the Trajet Flight 9268, an Airbus A321, was destroyed by a terrorist bomb while flying over Egypt, killing all 224 people on board.